Hello to my extended spiritual family at Church of the Redeemer. This is Pastor Daniel. As you know, I usually don't do these sorts of video messages. When I do, that means I have something important to talk about. So this is something important to talk about. So I hope there are more folks listening to this than those who normally read our weekly congregational emails. Back in the winter, spring, our elders called a session. We decided to appoint a team of people in our church to look at our children's ministry, to look at that ministry in our church and figure out a vision for children's ministry, to recruit servants to do children's ministry, to choose new curriculum, and really to put together a plan to do vibrant gospel-centered children's ministry in the fall or by the fall of 2022. The Lord has really blessed Redeemer in these last 5 years that I've been here by bringing us lots of young families, lots of young couples that came here without children and now they have children. Other families that already had children have added more children. The Lord has given us lots of new babies. There's always noise in our sanctuary and noise coming from the nursery on Sundays. And even though I'm the one talking a lot and preaching, I find that all that noise to be a blessing. It is better to be a church that has noise from children than to be a church with no noise from children. We have lots of young babies, lots of young kids, elementary age kids, and we have a few older kids, which means in the next 5-7 years we'll have a lot of middle school and high school kids. Unfortunately, since COVID, about 2.5 years ago, we've not done a faithful job in giving our time and our gifts to minister to our covenant children. One of the parents in our church of young kids reminded me of something that I kind of forgot about. When we do baptisms for babies, what we call infant baptism, I usually ask the parents to make vows about raising their children in the faith, but I also ask the congregation to stand and make a vow. And the question or the vow that I ask of the congregation is, do you as a congregation undertake the responsibility of assisting these parents in the Christian nurture of this child? And usually the congregation, you all stand up and affirm, yes, we will take a vital, essential role in the Christian nurture of this covenant child. And I know that COVID has made it difficult for us to get back into serving. All churches of all sizes, big and small, we're all struggling with people changing their mindset to get back into giving their time and talents and treasures for the kingdom. It's been hard to kind of switch our minds, switch our gears back to being available to do ministry. But our church at Redeemer, we are at a crossroads. We need to focus in this season of ministry at Redeemer in pouring into our covenant children. More so than I think even doing outreach and doing events and things like that. I think we really need to focus in this season of ministry in pouring into our covenant children. We know that our culture wants to disciple and catechize our kids. So the church, not just the parents, but the church as a whole, we need to undertake our God-given responsibility, our biblical responsibility to disciple and catechize our covenant children. And so what I'm asking as a pastor, as your pastor, is for you to give yourself over to being kingdom servants for our covenant kids. The plan that our team of folks to envision a new vision of children's ministry for our church, what they have decided is to collect servants from our church to take on 6-week rotations throughout the school year to lead and teach our covenant children. Whether it's our nursery-aged kids or our elementary-aged kids or our preteen and teenage kids, we just need you to simply give your time on Sunday mornings during our Sunday school hour. We already have curriculum that we want to pick and purchase. We already have ideas for supplies that we'll purchase for you. We have a team of folks putting all that together. We just need some kingdom servants, people that are willing to give their time on Sunday morning and maybe an hour or two during the week to prep for Sunday mornings to serve our kids. And so what I'm challenging you to do, this is a challenge, okay? It's not just simply an ask, this is a challenge. Challenging you to make good on your vow as a congregation. Those vows that you've made to our covenant children over the years, that you will assist the parents of these kids in the Christian nurture and upbringing of these covenant children. Because these covenant children, statistics show that the one essential factor of kids growing up and staying in the faith is that they need to establish a relationship, or at least a few relationships, with Christian adults who are not their parents. They need to establish deep, substantial relationship with Christian adults who are not their parents. And so we need you all, who are perhaps not parents, to step up and to give your time and to give your gifts to the nurture of our covenant children. This is one cool fact that I thought of today. I want to share it with you. There's lots of really solid, healthy churches in Cortland County. I'm friends with a lot of the pastors of churches here. But Church of the Redeemer, as far as I know, I think Church of the Redeemer is the only church in Cortland County that believes what the Bible teaches about the inclusion of children in God's covenant community. There are other churches that baptize babies, but they baptize them for different reasons. The reason that we baptize children is that we believe that they are covenant children. They are included in the covenant community. And so we're the only church that teaches and believes that theology, that kids are a part of the covenant. Just like in the Old Testament, it's the same in the New Testament. Kids in the households are part of God's covenant of grace. We need to let our covenant children come to Jesus. Jesus says, let the children come to me. And we need to have kingdom servants here at Redeemer who will not hinder that from happening, but will help that happen. So, I'm just going to implore you, please, please, please let me know if you are at all, even slightly interested in being a kingdom servant here at Redeemer for our covenant kids. All right, that's my pitch. That's my challenge. We have less than 2 months to get this going. Let's step up and let's do it. All right, God bless.